Josh, welcome to People in Legal. I'm so delighted we could actually have this interview. I've been looking forward to catching up with you again for a while. So awesome. So how's the conference?
The conference has been great. I love the energy that I'm feeling from people. I think that the people see that we are at an inflection point in the industry where we can truly change the practice of law. And it might be the most impactful time the industry's ever seen.
Yeah, I'm hearing the same kinds of things. For the audience, probably the very few people in the audience who may not know of you, would you want an introduction, a bit about your backstory as well?
Yeah. Well, first, I'm a cowboy from rural America.
Wow, I love it.
That was my start. And but almost 30 years ago,
wow.
I started a career in technology, and my first job was as a tech support engineer supporting GroupWise. The reason I'm sharing this is that Soft Solutions, which was the beginning of document management for the industry, was one of the products that I provided support for.
Wow.
Totally coincidental.
That's amazing.
Well, fast forward 20 years, I've gone and done a bunch of other things, and I met Alvin Tejumuli.
He's an amazing guy.
Oh, he's just one of the most special people that I've ever come across.
He is.
And after spending some time with Alvin, I realized that NetDocuments was a place that I wanted to be and wanted to be part of the team and part of that culture. I just felt like it came full circle from like the beginning of my career, having done a little Soft Solutions and GroupWise support to now being part of a team that is, that at the time was way ahead in terms of how they were revolutionizing the legal industry with cloud document management.
I mean, definitely one of the pioneer.
Yeah, they really were.
Incredibly future forward thinking. So brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And how do you think, from a leadership standpoint, things actually changed over the years? Because you guys have been growing, quite decently. So
the thing that I've seen is that there were some very special things about our culture that we hold on to, and we do everything to protect. And at the core of that is people. NetDocuments from the beginning has had a reputation of just like partnering with customers, partnering with partners, employees, just like having this familial culture. And we've worked very hard to protect that, being almost 10 times the size we were 2017 when I joined. People will say to me, how did you build that culture? And I always say to them, I didn't, I inherited it. And we've been able to protect it. So critical along the journey has been, as we needed to bring in new leaders to lead a function that we didn't have a leader over before, or just to kind of go on the next chapter, is bringing in people that were bought into our commitment to having a culture that was about people and helping our customers be successful.
My discussions with different companies, you sort of hear that some people are pitching platforms. What you're talking about is really invigorating. You talk about the people side of things. So what does your solution provide for the average person out there, for everyone from a paralegal to a partner? What does it mean for them in their lives?
This is a story that I think has always really resonated with me. So we have 20 billion documents on our platform.
Wow.
And I was talking to a woman who is now one of our legal solutions directors. And she is a former practicing lawyer. She was describing a case that she worked on. And she was talking about a particular document that had the facts that ultimately decided the case. And what she said was, yes, we have 20 billion documents on our platform, but to someone, one document is what matters the most. And that ultimately is the power of our platform, to be able to enable legal professionals to provide positive outcomes for their clients in ways that they otherwise might not be able to, which is why we're working so hard to infuse AI throughout the platform and enhance those outcomes for our customers' clients.
I mean, what do you think in the adoption of AI? I mean, is there a particular pattern of adoption of AI within firms that you're seeing?
Yeah. So I think that we're seeing it come from kind of two different angles, and with one underlying thing that is critical. Many people are coming at it from the assistant standpoint. How can I bring in an assistant that just surfaces answers, that does things like that? And then others are coming at it from the workflow standpoint. Like, how can I drive automation using the information that AI provides to me? But at the root of that is the data.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
what we're finding is that firms that have a really great understanding of the information in their DMS or research or whatever it was kind of thing, and connect up AI to their content, bring AI to their content, they're the ones that are having success adopting these technologies, which is why, from our perspective, the most important thing we can do is bring AI to the content for our customers so they don't have to do it themselves. And what we're seeing is those who have that deep connection, kind of connective tissue to the content, and are finding ways to curate that content, which I can talk more about, are the ones that are having the most success adopting it.
What do you think it actually means for the people's roles in the practice? Do you think it will replace some roles? Do you think people's roles will get upgraded? What do you think it actually means to the people in a firm?
Yeah, I think that what's going to happen is that almost all jobs will evolve. If you think about technology over the kind of the history of the last 200 years, in almost every case, technology showed up and there was fear about this is going to displace people and like I'm going to lose my job or whatever it might be. But what has actually happened time and time again is that work-life balance has improved, the ability to produce better outcomes, whether that be, the industrial age or the early days of the internet, whatever it be. And ultimately, our lives have been enhanced by these technologies.
Yeah.
And I think that you'll see lives enhanced by these technologies, both in terms of, legal professionals will have better work-life balance, which we all know is a challenge. I think that you will see clients get better outcomes. I think you will see a bottom part of the legal services market that has been unfulfilled because people are priced out, because lawyers are too busy, whatever it might be, that will start to be fulfilled. And now, what does that mean for each of the individual roles? I think that all of them will evolve. All of them will continue to exist in different forms. But for me, that's the most exciting time of a change, where you can start to shape what the future of an industry looks like. And that's what we're all doing. That's one of the things I like about ILTACON, is that right here, all these vendors, all these law firms, all these corporate legal departments, they're all thinking about what is this going to look like in 5 years, in 10 years, and how can we shape it?
I mean, what does 2030 look like?
Yeah. I think that in 2030, I think that you will see that 100% of all legal professionals will be using AI to do their jobs. I think that you will see that, most of the mundane tasks will have been automated. And because of that, I think that we will have unlocked a lot of potential for the industry and for people, because when our minds are distracted by the simple, repetitive, etc., we limit what we can actually do as human beings. And I think that this is an amazing opportunity for us to, automate all that, bring AI to it, and make it possible for us to really imagine a future where, access to justice is better than it's ever been before, that, people that couldn't afford legal services are getting access to it, that even legal services that people could afford, but they just decided not to do because it's just like, well, it's not that important to me, or stuff that just we didn't have enough legal professionals for. All that stuff's going to be being fulfilled. I don't know if that's 2030. I don't know if that's 2032, 2035. I often like to repeat something Bill Gates has said many times, and that is that we overestimate what a technology will do in 2 years, and we way underestimate what that technology will do in 10. I think that's the case with AI for the legal industry.
I like what you said before about client outcomes. I mean, as a consumer of legal services, I want more of a human element. I don't want to pay for the mundane. So what I'm expecting from my lawyers and the legal services I get is more of that human bedside manner, kind of like that personalized service. I think AI, what I have heard from conversations, is it provides the ability to more personalize and provide that deeper level of human services.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but I walked into my estate attorney's office. I don't know, it's like 7 years ago. We were doing all of our estate stuff, and I felt like I was just a piece of a widget working through a factory, because he just had to crank through them, right? Well, fast forward 7 years. I met with him a couple weeks ago, And he has automated a bunch of the things that he's
Wow.
doing. And it was fascinating because like he was really spending the time with us to understand, like what we imagined in the future, that sort of thing. So to your point, like the personal element has become possible because he's not just cranking through like the automation of documents.
I mean, I attended a seminar recently, I think that Jack Newton from Clio did. And it was really interesting talking about this demand for legal services that could not be fulfilled because
Just
they
underserved, yeah,
underserved.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess a firm that's using the right kind of technology and get rid of that can actually reduce their price or make the price more reasonable and actually have different billing models such as subscription pricing and things like that. It just makes it possible.
That's exactly right. I think that you're going to see a world where, just like the average person that you run into at Walmart is going to be able to have access to the kind of legal services that they need. And, much of that can be fulfilled because the mundane will start to go away. And now we can have pricing that works for those people and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, the whole billing model from a law firm point of view, there's choice they can actually offer their clients because there's tools that do more of these things.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Something that I think a lot about is, when as pricing models evolve, as the more work is automated, I think that there are two things that legal professionals should really stake a claim to. They are continuing to provide the same level of value as if they had done all of that work manually.
Yep.
Frankly, they probably have better quality outputs than if they'd done it all manually.
Yep.
And second, the liability for the firm or the practitioner hasn't gone down. So I truly believe that while pricing mechanisms can change, I don't think that the value that is being provided by the legal professionals is going to go down anyway. In fact, I think it's going to go up.
Yeah, I'm not going to sort of see a future where where there's more business services. I mean, I see accounting firms and I see law firms, and it's interesting. Accounting firms, you go to them for a lot of things. In fact, you might go to them for a referral for a lawyer because they just do a gamut of things, your tax and your accounts and those kind of things.
Yeah.
But you're constantly talking about this is going to actually allow the lawyers to be more in that sort of camp and work on the risk side of things.
Yeah.
And deal with
proactively engage. Yeah, I think that's exactly right.
Yeah.
It is interesting. I think that the legal industry has probably needed to be more responsive to requests than being out proactively helping you plan for what might be.
Well, that's it. I mean, you deal with the risks and you can actually advise the firm, business on the risk. I mean, it's a great service.
That really is great service.
What actually came across to me, and I've just been having conversations, is just the enormous amount of firms in this mid-market and actually how it just seems there's such an opportunity for these guys to really punch above their weight and really do provide some incredible services. And I think you guys are fairly and squarely punching the mid-market.
Yeah. I think that you're going to see mid-market firms. And when I think about mid-market firms, I'm thinking about 50 user firms to 200, 250 user firms, right?
Yep.
And, by the way, there are an unbelievable number of those firms, right, in the world. And, but to be able to now have some of these technologies that will allow them to just like reach for work that they're very capable of doing, but they just haven't had the scale. They haven't had the ability to reach the clients, if you will. And maybe more importantly, they have been so caught up in all of the manual work because they couldn't afford all of the same level of staff that these big firms could. Like when all of that gets automated, folks are going to be able to go after some really big, important work.
No, I totally agree. What do you think one takeaway that you think firms could walk away with from this conference?
Yeah. I think that there's a lot of noise around all of the different AI startups and that sort of thing. I think that one of the things that law firms should be thinking about is they should be looking to their existing vendors to infuse AI into those platforms and work to adopt those. Because I think anytime you bring something new where you have to take your content to AI or take your content to whatever the thing is, the probability of success goes down. If you introduce a new interface for users, adoption is likely to be low. Whereas if you can introduce AI to an interface that the users are familiar with, I think that the probability of success goes way up.
Brilliant. Josh, thank you so much for a great discussion.
Yeah, thanks, David.
Brilliant.
It's really,
Thank you.
really nice.
Excellent.